Experience matters. You hear that a lot, but in real estate, it can actually translate to tens of thousands of dollars. Let me tell you a little story about escalation clauses. That is when a buyer makes an offer on a property and they say, you know what, here's my offer, but if you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, get a better offer, I'll pay more than that by X amount up to a certain price. In this hot market that we've seen the last few years, we are seeing more and more escalation clauses. And often multiple offers come in on a property and each one has an escalation clause. And all of those terms are different. If you are the seller in that situation, you want to make sure your agent is very experienced in escalation clauses and knows how they work. What happened to my buyers was they wrote an offer on a beautiful home, great offer, and they included an escalation clause. The agent and I talked, and although she had multiple offers with multiple escalation clauses, she let me know later that night that the seller was accepting my buyers and using the escalation clause. We were so excited. Now, part of that clause calls for the seller to send the buyer the other offer. And guess what? The listing agent, who was a neighbor and an agent who really didn't do a lot of business, didn't understand the escalation clause. And that poor agent actually did what was right and checked with her manager, her broker, and they didn't understand how it worked either and gave her bad advice. What actually ended up happening was the seller accepted my buyer's offer and ended up with $15,000 less than what they expected because the listing agent just didn't understand how these escalation clauses work. You don't want to find yourself in that situation. So experience does matter. I've been a realtor for 32 years. I'm Beth Jaworski with Shore West, and I'd love to be your realtor.